Nah. Don't get quiet on me now. Y'all wanted wrestling? Wrestling here now. Don't be losers. Don't sleep on the break. Don't fall asleep during the break. Be here. Be a part. Be engaged.
Man, boy,
That's got good flavor.
It's pretty good, right?
It's got good flavor.
I like it. I like shit.
We gonna start with the elite first. Alright, 10 viewers. Nobody to say hello.
With the smush Parker?
Which is very rude. Very, very rude. I'm not feeling the love.
Where is the love?
I know the Jordan love was last year. The hell out of the Cowboys.
How old is that song?
Where's the love?
Yeah.
Ancient.
I feel like I listened to that when I was back in middle school or something.
Like you grew up with it or something?
Nah, that was before.
Before you grew up?
Like I listened to it, but it was very old. I wasn't new. I'm curious now.
Yeah, look it up. What up, Cam? Cameron. Alright. Get this thing cracking. We should definitely start an ASMR channel. I know folks that would rather just listen to the packs and nothing else.
Yeah, 2003.
Man, that song old enough to drink. That joint came out when LeBron did. Like when he made his debut, not when he came out. Never mind. Andre the Giant, 49 of 99 on the IG pose, Big Dre. Randy Orton on the tidal waves. Our girl Lola. So Ruka. Spellbound, the Stone Cold Steven Austin.
You like Lola?
Eric Bischoff with the big ass suit. She's actually been a lot more impressive than I expected her to be. She's picked up pretty quickly in terms of her in-ring ability. Still some timing that she can improve on, but that's everybody when they're first starting out.
Not my girl.
Who? Tiffany?
Yep.
She was pretty much a natural. I'm not even gonna lie about that. She's taken to it like a duck to water, as they say.
She's a goat.
She's pretty damn good. She didn't win.
She won.
No, she didn't. She didn't win the belt this time. Of course, yeah. But she didn't win the belt this time. But I think they set up a nice little future run for her.
She won my heart.
I'm kind of glad they did. I'm kind of glad they didn't give her the belt this time around.
That's rude.
To be honest with you, nah, because I think they might have a hometown moment set up for her at one point or at some point. I'm actually still on board with letting Maxine Dupree kind of develop her heel a little bit, so maybe she can make that transition over. And then
she won.
There's the Kiana James.
I don't think she won.
Signing.
About?
That would help facilitate what I think would be a nice Mean Girls faction. Braun Strowman, 11 and 149. Welcome back, by the way. He returned, beat the hell out of Logan Paul.
Did you like it?
I think that's going to be an interesting match if they set that up. Family.
So would he fight Cody?
British Bulldog. Would who fight Cody? Braun Strowman? Yeah, they wanted him to.
Isn't he like twice the size of Cody?
What does that mean?
So how's it a fair fight?
Brock essentially was too. 50 of 99.
Cody beat Brock?
Yeah, he beat him.
By cheating?
No, rope-a-dope. Just wouldn't stay down. Let Brock kind of punch himself out and then had a series of maneuvers to win, like a flurry of moves to win. They pretty much repeated the same thing when they had Sammy and Gunther wrestle. What do you think about the Cody Paul matchup? I'm not mad at it. I don't have any qualms with it. Logan's really good in the ring. I think, obviously, you know, got to get Cody something to do before you throw him into a really, really big storyline. So I'm not mad at those matchups. I'm telling y'all, Logan Paul is going to turn babyface at some point in time. And I think building them up with these type of matches, these longer storylines, these bigger feuds, he gets the opportunity to show a little more range.
People are gonna like him?
I mean, I think at some point in time it becomes inevitable. Like it's not like he's not like talented. They recognize the talent. I think because he plays his because he plays his heel character so well, it's hard to. And then, of course, the outside of the ring type stuff makes it a little bit difficult for people to just arbitrarily jump to his defense. But he's good. Turn of the century auto, Ted DiBiase. Speaking of somebody who's outside the ring antics, don't bode well with the folks. 35 of 149 on the Red Rooster.
The Thief Man?
Yeah, the Thief Man, Ted DiBiase. Triple H on the red. Electra Lopez, 71 of 80. But yeah, I don't mind the matchup at all. I think they'll actually put on a banger, if I'm honest with you. I think that's going to be a good match.
A DJ banger?
Much better than a DJ banger.
Say that. Is that your king? Is that your king?
Hoping they would start Corbin off with a win. But same old, yeah. I think he's gonna eventually be better off either overseas or in like TNA or something like that. I don't know if they fully understand what they have in Baron Corbin. And they're not using them correctly. Redemption of Braun Strowman on the Pin Pals Red. Huh?
Is Baron Corbin Butch?
No, he's Baron Corbin.
Who's Butch again?
Pete Dunne.
That's right.
JC Jane, 121 of 149.
Bang, bang.
Trish Stratus on the Elite deck. We got a full throttle red of X-Pac, Mr. Sean Waltman, 80 of 99. Gia Lee, freshly fired. I want to see Corbin in New Japan. See how they use him over there. See if he can kind of recreate himself. Or at least reestablish the respect level we should have. But I also wouldn't mind him in TNA wreaking havoc over there as well. What are you guys' thoughts on Melo's SmackDown debut? Not just the match with Cody, but even the interaction with Bobby Lashley in the locker room. How would you guys like to see that feud? B-Fab on the red, non-numbered. Dom Mysterio, 18-24 on the die cut. Nice Dom. Full Throttle Montez Ford. Keebler on the throwback. B-Fab, 118-149.
Kiva, she was real good in ring, right?
No. No, not Medusa. No Medusas yet. I think she's only in Impeccable, if I'm not mistaken. No. She's an elite. She's an elite, yeah. No Medusas yet. We are a box and a half in. Big Dave, so you're good.
Batista?
No, Hacker. Even bigger Dave.
Even better.
Dijak on red, non-numbered. Another signature coming up. Spellbound of John Cena. Solo Sikoa. Very nice auto. The new leader of the Bloodline.
Who Paul Heyman has no control over.
No control over. Quincy Elliott, 28-53. Somebody else Paul Heyman has no control over. Eric Bischoff, Big Suit Bischoff on the red. Piper took it to Cargill today. She's going to have to learn some of that stuff. Riddick Moss, 42-49. She's going to have to get in there with some people that actually know what the hell they're doing. And really, like, put her...
Does Piper know what she's doing?
Piper's good. Piper's actually really good in ring. And Jade's going to need to learn that stuff. I watched that tag match. She's still behind on a few things. She's still a little green. There's some things she needs to learn. I mean, we kind of knew that already, but it's glaring in some of these matches. And I could see that being an issue in these one-on-ones as well. Just because, you know, she's just got a ways to go. Especially for the type of push they're going to give her. So as long as she learns something from there, didn't look completely out of place. Because what happens is The people who have lower spots than you will make you look crazy if they possibly can.
Are they like intentionally do that?
I mean, there's ways too. There's ways to get you blown up in a match, you know, tire you out, maybe put too much pace on you in terms of what moves we're going to do. Like, you'll still be the one to get the win or whatever, but if I don't necessarily sell a move or, you know, I give you a bit more offense that you might be willing to take or handle, and you don't sell as much as you should, or as well as you should. Just different ways that can test the way that you perform in the ring. And it'll look pretty damn bad if you don't know what the hell you're doing. Maybe I call a series of moves and you forget a step or mistime something or just look awkward doing what I'm asking you to do. Damian Priest, 49/80. Star status of Charlotte Flair. Brock Lesnar. John Cena on the throwback. Tidal Waves of John Cena. Red of Rhea Ripley. Yeah, see, that's a perfect example, Eric. I was actually just going to bring that up. If you were to watch William Regal and Goldberg in WCW, you can see just how awkward the person that's supposed to be this dominant figure looks compared to what's universally considered more of a journeyman wrestler in Regal. But Regal owned Goldberg. Yeah. Goldberg still gets the win because I still got to take your two, you know, your power moves, your spear, and then your jackhammer for the finish. But if I make you look bad and awkward prior to that, like you don't really know what you're doing. You like that they gave Piper a lot of offense instead of just giving Jade another squash match. I gotta watch it. My main thing with Jade isn't so much her offense. I think offensively she looks fine. I think it's the selling, it's the storytelling. Like in that tag match, I think she oversold some of this stuff. Or like played it up like she was completely ruined when she was just super strong like 2 moves before. Full Throttle Xavier Woods. Turn of the Century Auto. Cowboy Bob Orton. It's a nice red. 23 of 49. Randy's Daddy. Shotzi 85 of 99. But yeah, I gotta check that match out. I want to see. I like Piper Niven as a performer anyway. But for instance, you might not remember it. Star status of Trish Stratus. This one is 64.99. But the same way when I was talking about where Rhea and Nia Jax had their match, right? Nia being a bigger wrestler in the ring, the more physical wrestler. They set it up to where she just gave offense most of the time. So Rhea essentially, to make that match compelling, Rhea had to do a lot of selling. She had to, you know, take a lot of the punishment and then make the comeback at the end, and she did a great job of that. So you put your performers in a position where they can gain sympathy from the crowd. Like, you're gonna look great if you're constantly on offense, but when you have to convince me that you're hurt and make me cheer for your comeback, that's when you really see the development of how well a person is in ring. Like watching Sami Zayn get beat up for like 50 minutes and then make a comeback in the end is always super compelling. Same thing with like Shawn Michaels. That's one of the reasons why he's considered such a GOAT level performer. Cargill has knee and necks, weakening Bianca if she wins. So this is all Queen of the Ring stuff that you're talking about.
Not because of his auto?
No, not because of his auto. He's able to put his auto on a card because of the way he takes punishment.
So you're saying he gets...
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he takes punishment, and that's how you He projects after the punishment he takes.
Don't envy him.
Yeah, outside of that, I mean, Jay's got a lot of things going for. Obviously, the look works, the charisma works. You know, there's not a ton that she can't do
She does
athletically.
kind of look like a superhero.
She does. That's what she's essentially going to end up being once she gets out of here, just a movie star and do like she'll be Storm in the new X-Men if they decide to do a reboot. She's perfect for it. 48 of 80 for Rikishi. She does look like a movie star. Like I said, she won't be long for this wrestling world, which is why they need to maximize what they have with her while they can. But she still needs to look like she belongs. Gold Gang! First gold of the evening, Jerry the King Lawler, freshly fired.
Yeah.
Well, they just didn't renew his contract. We'll put it that way. So no more Kane on commentary. They hadn't used him in a while. You know. He's more of a legacy act at this point. And if they're not gonna, I think they might have been able to put him on Netflix or something. But his shtick may be a little old as well. Like I don't know if I necessarily want to hear that either. He was very prominent during the Attitude Era because he could say puppies and all kind of stuff and say like wild ass remarks. I just don't know if he fits in a more PC friendly environment.
Got it.
If there's a way that he can do his comments, like a different way he could do his commentary, fine. But he's older. There's some health issues too. Probably doesn't make a lot of sense. So I do like that they're setting up that showdown with Bianca and Jade because obviously that's probably where they end up landing.
Are they gonna fight each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we get is a friendly fight this first time around. Hopefully, they're training together to make that match deliver. We get the friendly fight. I'd like to see Bianca go over and Jade just not be ready just yet. Is that? Oh, that's family lineage. Roman Reigns, 71 of 149. But, I mean, the push that they're giving her, I think with the push they're giving her, they don't derail it if she doesn't win Queen of the Ring and Bianca gets that win over her. We can just say that she's not quite there yet and then have her progressively catch up to Bianca in terms of in-ring ability. So when they finally do have the turn, I mean, they could still function together as a tag team. Jimmy Uso on the red. And then eventually when they have the heel turn, which I think it'll be Bianca having the heel turn and Jade staying the babyface. We can use this first loss as a way for Jade to aspire to getting that revenge. You know, now I'm much closer to you. Now I kind of know a little bit more about you.
Bianca use her hair as a weapon?
It's used every match, either as something that she uses when she's a heel, she uses it as an advantage. When she's a baby face, it's more or less used against her. So people pull on it or use that as a way to kind of break up pinfalls and stuff like that.
Long ass hair.
It is. Stone Cold on the Spellbound, followed by Pen Pals. Raquel Rodriguez. Very nice auto. Of the back mommy. Nikita Lyons, 1 of 53. Nice little bookend of the Lioness. Bray Wyatt on the star status. Stacks. Full Throttle, X-Pac. Throwback Ultimate Warrior. Powerhouse of China. But yeah, my main concern when they do finally do this heel turn is the mic work from both of them. Because I don't think Bianca's particularly strong either. Not enough to carry it if Jade can't quite get it done. Like, it's the mic work on there is going to be absolutely horrible, I think. I don't think either one of them are great talkers. Maybe in response, but not necessarily on the offense.
Is Tiffy good on the mic?
Yeah. She's good on the mic because she stays true to the character. She's a little rushed on some of the stuff she says, but the facials and the body language and all that stuff, she does a really good job of, you know, the arrogance, that Tiffy time thing that she does. Alexa Bliss on the red. She should be back soon if she isn't already back. Edge on the Elite deck, followed by Katana Chance on the auto. Very nice. On the Elite Sigs. Ariana Grace, 53 of 80. Got our Orange Family Lineage. Rikishi and Jimmy Uso. 46 of 49, so we'll have to random for that one.
That entrance was so sick.
That what?
That entrance was so sick.
Which one?
Jey Uso's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my guy.
That's your guy now?
Yeah.
You a big Uso fan? Are you eating? Are you out here eating?
That was just a cool entrance.
Do you
though.
eat? Yeah. Yeah, he's
Like how the whole crowd was just like into it too.
in overseas, man. I'll explain this to the fam. Overseas, they go crazy for, like, they respect it a little bit more than they do here. So, like, in the States, people...
Yeah, that crowd was nuts.
That crowd was nuts, right? Like, they were into it the whole time, and they just feed the energy.
Yeah,
they just feed the energy to the wrestlers. And that plays such a crucial part to how a wrestler performs, you know, how engaged they are, the things they're willing to do.
You gotta be hyped about it. Bro.
Yeah, if that was a crowd, bruh, if I'm performing from that crowd, I'm giving y'all every bit of energy and exuberance performance I could possibly give you. Just because y'all are giving me so much to feed off of. The crowd made a huge difference. I mean, and they were into it from the beginning. Cause even Orton's intro, like the fact that he doesn't have a sing-along type of thing. Like Cody has a sing-along, Seth has a sing-along type of thing. Randy came out and they knew all the words to his. You know, it got to him. You felt the emotion from it. So, yeah, a great crowd will carry a lot of that.
They're gonna go back there for sure.
They have to. They need to. They gave him a BS kind of filler pay-per-view. Butch, 17 of 53. Hank Walker, 33 of 49. Yeah, they were crazy over there. Very good. Undertaker on the Elite deck. Another numbered family lineage. These are the Ortons. Cowboy Bob and Randy, 70 of 99, so we'll do a random for that one as well. Butch on the red.
Crowd's pretty sick. Never would have expected fucking France to be that into it.
Overseas, like I said, is large. They do Paul. They do I've noticed a lot of like kind of, I don't want to say like a lot of niche audience type stuff. gets a lot more love internationally than it does in the States.
We're spoiled.
We're too cool for a lot of stuff. Like even I noticed that even like a rap group like Jurassic 5, right? And you know, and a kind of old school sound to it, but if they're over in Europe or overseas somewhere, tons of love over there. And it's the same thing. Like we were talking about Baron Corbin. When he's overseas, he's the man. Gunther, speaking of, 10 of 49 on an auto. Very nice on Elite Sigs. He should win the King of the Ring this year. I think there's where that storyline's headed. There's Edge 102 of 149. Great match against Sheamus this past week for Gunther. I like that as a placeholder accolade for him. Braun Breaker, 78 of 99 on the purple. They do it overseas to generate more extra revenue. I mean, yeah. Makes sense. But they should give that audience bigger shows, I think. Because I always sing and chant during European Soccer Masters. Yeah, they're way more vocal and engaged there. And it helps for the overall experience. Because like I said, especially in something like that where it's performance-based, I'm going to give you my all when that's the reception I'm getting from the people viewing what I'm doing. Same thing with the breaks. Y'all talk to me, and it becomes way more engaging. It's a better overall show outside of just cards being pulled. Did you guys like the debut of the new Bloodline member? Lower. And what do we see this ending up being? Are we thinking Bloodline Civil War? What are we where's this headed? Bobby Lashley on star status. Tyler Bate. There you go, Figgy. One of your hits here. Tyler Bate on the auto.
Big strong boy.
Kiana James, 130 of 149. That is him. Lead on the Spellbound. Tyler's a really good performer. And he's been in the game for a minute. The Mysterios and the family lineage. I think Tyler started off at like 17 or 18.
Damn.
So he's been doing this. He's like 26, maybe. He's been doing this for a while. Kind of figured they'd go in that direction since Reigns is a part-timer. I think so too. I just don't know if we have the one. I'm wondering if we just have the one-off. I hope that's the case. If so, what I'm envisioning is a, like we get the Usos back together, one-time moment, because you don't want to derail what Jay's got going on by reforming that tag team. So you want a one night only, Usos back together, Roman Reigns, the original Bloodline versus Solo, and his new version, his new rendition of it. I want a Bloodlines match, 3-on-3, Bloodline rules, and that way if we get any kind of interference whatsoever, we have no idea which direction they're going. Ultimately, Solo and his crew wins, and the original Bloodline has to just stay disbanded. So I do believe Roman's coming back as a babyface.
Oh, he's coming back, you think?
Eventually. He's gonna take a lot of time off. I'm assuming at least 6 months at minimum, and then he'll be back. I don't think it's. I mean, maybe. I think he just needs. He rests a lot just because he doesn't wrestle often, which kind of led to the mystique of him his title run. 5 of 80 on Rhea Ripley.
Well, he doesn't wrestle a lot.
No, he really didn't wrestle a ton during that stretch as a champ. That's why people wanted the belt off of him so bad, because he's hardly ever on. But I thought that was the appeal. That was the selling point. Was like whenever he did pop out, it's got to be a big match type of feel. Like he defended the belt as if though he was a champion boxer. Like you don't see them just every week performing. You know, like when Floyd pops out for a fight, it's a big deal. So that was the selling point of it for me. Let's see, the Usos will get back together sometime down in the future. It just depends on how much time it will take and if the story is built up. Yeah, I don't think it's something they need to rush. Yeah, I agree with you. It has to be like a one night only thing. And if they do decide to reunite them, then it'll have to be after Jay has done as much as he can do with that run. Heard that rumor. Yeah, more than likely. He'll definitely be making a movie or a couple. Like I said, during the title run, as it was coming to a conclusion, even as much as a year ago, once Roman drops this belt, he was going to be going to Hollywood to kind of test the waters. I think he'll end up staying there permanently and do a, return big occasion type situation, which is why I don't think this Bloodline thing would be a full storyline, but just more of a one-off.
You think he'll be good at acting?
From what we've seen over these past few years, yeah. I believe that's why he got...
Is Cena good at acting?
Yeah, John's actually pretty entertaining. He's pretty funny. He does a pretty good job with comedy roles. But I think the reason why Roman was able to ascend to the level he did was because how well he performed telling the story during COVID. There was no crowds. So you got all the engagement between the two wrestlers. So it was all the energy for what was said, how they spoke to each other, the emotion they tried to convey, like he shined. Big E on the SIGs, 11-25 on the Elite Signature. Sheamus, 7-99. Probably at least a year before a reunion. I'm cool with that. At minimum. Like I said, this isn't something that needs to be rushed. Let Solo and his new crew wreak as much havoc as possible. To the point to where, even if it looks like Paul has to call somebody in because he doesn't know what to do anymore. Like, I'd rather it be something like that. A slow development. Full throttle. Shawn Michaels, 1-25. Nice little green.
Solo good on the mic?
Yeah, Solo's really good. Solo's comfortable. He transitioned into that role perfectly. Even so much as putting on the suit.
What's the difference between him and Roman?
The difference? In terms of mic work, Roman's more comfortable. There's more mystique to Roman. Solo 100% looks like what I've liked about his mic work so far is he 1000% looks like when like your dad leaves the house and you kind of take the role as like man in the house and try to mimic some of the stuff, but you put your own little swag to it. It feels that way. Like he shouldn't necessarily be the guy, but I will do anything. I'm about to be the guy right now, and he carries it very well. And it's not like in a comedic way. It's because I think Jimmy did it in more of a comedic way. Solo does it way more serious. He looks comfortable, looks polished, and then he is flanked by two guys that they've really sold as just psychotic.
So the Usos, like, they're not even, like, they're against each other now, right?
Well, yeah, and Jay's on one show. Solo and his crew just beat the hell out of Jimmy, calling him a weak link, basically.
Is Jay and Solo cool or no?
I mean, they're not on the same side. Like, Jay's a babyface, Solo's a heel. But Solo's just basically like, yeah, I got the reins now, you know, as the leader of the faction you used to be a part of. We're not going to mess with you, but you need to stay out of our way. Like, they had a small little interaction when Jimmy was getting ready for a match. Yeah. And they had, whoa, you saw that. It was on the Backlash, 53 of War.
Oh, it's an entrance.
Oh, okay. Well, so after Bloodline wins and the third member of the new Bloodline comes out, they see Jimmy backstage when he's getting ready for his match, the entrance that you saw, and he's getting prepped for that, and they have a little stare down, and Jimmy's just nervous because I might get jumped right now before I got this match. But I mean, they're brothers in real life, so I think that's it helps in terms of like the storytelling. Because Lil Bro has kind of found his own crew and is carving his own niche. He's no longer a follower. He waited his turn to take over, and now he is. Now he's in charge. But see, what I loved about that, Cobra, is I think that was like perfect. That Solo was kind of in the background and just never said anything. You never heard him. One, he was working, he was honing his skills behind the scenes. So that's one positive part. And then the other part being, it makes sense in terms of the structure and how things go, natural order. So Solo, storyline wise, he was the one that never betrayed Roman. He was the one that never kind of turned his back on Roman. He kind of saw the vision, where it was going, where his seat would eventually be once he was given it, 23 and 149 on the GLE. He knew Jay wasn't going to do it because of the stuff that Jay has, the interactions he's had with Roman. He knew Jimmy wasn't going to do it because Jimmy was a clown. So all he had to do was just sit back and wait his turn. Now that his turn is here, he can vocalize himself a lot more, express himself a lot more than he would have before because he didn't need to. That wasn't his role in the Bloodline at the time. And now that he's kind of taken the mantle, it's now his turn to run it the way he wants to. So it's very, to kind of put it in a different way, when Vince Sr. was running WWF or WWF, and then Vince McMahon Jr. having an idea, having a concept, knowing the direction he wanted to take it, essentially just had to wait his turn. He basically waited till his pops passed and then completely flipped the whole game for professional wrestling and the vision he saw it. So I look at it the same way. Roman was running things. I see a way that this could go. I think it'll be better and more effective this way. And I'm just going to wait my turn. Let's see. I didn't see the point of Jumping Jimmy. It should have been. So, Jumping Jimmy, essentially, one, gets seniority out of the way. And it also gets a clown out of the way. It kind of puts everybody on notice that we're completely changing things now. We're doing things way different. And one of the first steps is putting out a guy that, nobody's really going to take serious anyway. Stacy Cleaver, 29 of 53. There's a gold auto back there. So we'll save that. There's another gold coming up. We'll unveil that one. Braun Strowman on the Powerhouse.
2 golds.
I think it's a gold auto. Rick Boogs, 5 of 10. Gold gang. If Ty was here, he'd be through the roof. Big Rick Boogs fan. Top dollar. Why? He just likes Rick Boogs. Solo told Heyman that he's his wise man now. Yeah, I love Paul Heyman, like, character development, man. He's been so good in this. Him playing a coward role is A1. Fitting. It makes sense, but he's performed it in an A1 fashion. Paul Heyman is GOAT level. Just wondering if they're going to say that The Rock had anything to do with how the future holds out. It's completely gone into WrestleMania like we all suspected. I'm curious to see if they put him in here some kind of way. I do think he's going to have some sort of role since he's more front office type stuff. I think eventually we end up with like powers that be, The Rock, and Triple H. Yacy Yang, NXT, my bad, it wasn't gold. JC Jane, Pen Pals Auto. I think eventually we get whoever The Rock decides to be the guy versus whoever Trips decides to be the guy in like a one-off match. They'll probably play along with that or play around with that some kind of way. I wouldn't be mad at it. I hope it doesn't be some kind of The Rock was pulling strings the whole time, unless they can make that compelling. If we want to eventually get our Rock and Roman match. I don't like it. When I think of Paul Heyman, I'm ECW days when he first got to WWE, he was a joke. Now he looks like a so wet puppy and so much steps on. I mean, it makes sense for the people he's associated with. Like, he don't want no smoke with Solo. And you got to understand, in the situation he's in now, there's no Roman Reigns, and he's burned the only bridge that he could use to kind of combat that. 91 of 99 on the Jey Uso. Like, when he swore lineage to Roman over Brock, he kind of lost the only ally he would have ever had against something like this. So he's...
He turned on Brock for Roman?
Yeah. During the Roman and Brock run, he was torn between who he wanted to support, and he ended up sticking with his tribal chief.
Damn. Wasn't Brock like his original?
Brock was his original guy. So storyline-wise, it makes all the sense in the world. And I think that's why Heyman's a genius. Because I know that's not lost on him in terms of what makes sense on camera. Like, you need Heyman to completely disappear and bring back Brock and be alongside him in order for him to kind of combat that. And then it comes down to, do we really want to see Brock back in that position of power if he's not going to be a full-time performer? Because if Brock Lesnar comes back, it ain't just to whoop one ass. He's about to probably get the belt back.
Is he coming back?
I don't think everything cleared. Like, they're not acting like he doesn't exist anymore. But I don't think everything cleared in terms of his connection to the whole Vince thing. Plus, he wasn't like a full-timer anyway. You know, they used Brock sparingly to kind of get people over.
Yeah.
To progress storylines for certain folks. Cut him a nice little check. He'll do like a 2-month run or something like that, and then he out in the wind again. So Rook on the red. She's going to be a Astara. Just got to stay healthy. China on the powerhouses. Bad News Barrett. Turn of the Century Auto, 14-25. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got some bad news. What was that whole issue of lawsuit with Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon? I don't have like all the deets. I just know Brock name got dropped in the whole situation where Vince had the girl that was working for him, 33 and 149. Supposedly, she was the person who helped bring Brock back to the company. I'll put it that way. Full Throttle of X-Pac. Second one of these, he pulled 40 of 99. So because of that association and the insinuation in that Brock got dropped from a lot of stuff because they wanted to get away from Vince. So Brock got dropped from the Rumble. They pulled him off the video game, and they kind of tried to act like he didn't exist. They start pulling him from all the files. It was weird, but I think they're slowly starting to bring him back into that stuff. He hasn't been on TV yet, which probably won't be without a legitimate reason or a legitimate storyline for him, since he wasn't a regular anyway. But yeah. X-Pac spot. Not doing too bad. Yeah, it was. This is because of the allegations on him. Like, he received favors, I guess. Elias, 20 of 80. Raquel Rodriguez, 20 of 25 on the teal. Bray Wyatt, star status. Batista on the throwback. How do y'all feel about that tag match? Kabuki Warriors losing. Kofi Kingston 5 of 24. Is it too soon to push Jade like this?
It's Asuka and
Kari Zane. No, Io was she's solo. Was a single champ. They just pretty much took everything from Damage Control, boy. Supposed to be the most dangerous faction in the whole women's division. Beltless.
All in Asian Pacific Islander month.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I know it's obvious that was what was gonna happen, but I'm saying, how do y'all feel about it? Like, do y'all like Jade getting the push that she's getting? Is it too soon? Do we need to slow this thing down a little bit? Is it right on time? Are you cool with it? Do you not like it? Is it going to get to the point to where we don't want to see it because it's happening too fast? Love it. It's about time. Okay. Too soon. She needs more ring work. Okay. Finn Balor in the red. Spellbound of Brock Lesnar. Carmelo Hayes. There's Melo on the red. 26 of 49.
He's
Carmelo
him.
Hayes auto. He is him. Bruno San Martino, 19 to 99 on a Bruno San Martino. John Cena on the red throwback. So, depends on how they play it. Women's tag has been weak for a while. Need to elevate it. I hope that happens. Can you elevate it with pure dominance, or can you elevate it with competitive matches? Because that's going to be a dominant tag team. I don't know if you can really put them in too many believable competitive matches. I like that powerhouse team. I feared that they were going to have Belair and Cargill feud with each other. A tag team is better. They're going to feud eventually. That's inevitable. It just didn't make sense to do it right away because Bianca is light years ahead of Jade in the ring, and you don't want to bury a potential star like that. Like Jade's got global star power. She's got, outside of the company, she can go be a spokesperson for your company type of appeal to her. What you don't want to do is completely bury her by having her look bad against somebody who's clearly way better than her in terms of being a performer. So the tag team makes sense. I think Ty called that. I just thought they'd keep them away from each other, but he said they'll probably form as a tag team first and then have one turn on the other, which is clearly the direction they're going in. But yeah, I think as a tag team it makes more sense. And it helps slow down the singles push that Jade would have. Keeps gold on her. So it doesn't look like she's not getting, championship type of run or championship type of spot. She gets to get a little bit of coverage. Not have to do as much in the ring. I mean, I think it's pretty smart. And obviously it's a built-in storyline. Rikishi, turn of the century auto. Riddick Moss, 125 or 149. Rikishi and Jimmy Uso on the family lineage. Finn Balor, 10 of 99.
Finn Balor.
How soon before the Judgment Day completely implodes? And are you behind Damian Priest as a babyface? I'm asking the people. You heard they may use Gacy in the Uncle Howdy thing. Please don't. Please don't. Please keep him as far away from that as possible. I would hate for the Bray knockoff, as he was looked at down at NXT, to be brought up to be a Bray knockoff alongside Bray's brother. Because there's no more Bray. Like, please don't do that. Joe Gacy has managed to get himself away from that with his NXT work and the way they've pushed him now. I prefer they stick with that. I prefer him be a modern day Mankind in terms of just throwing himself into all kind of nonsense, as opposed to trying to get back to that cult leader thing. He doesn't need to do that. He's great on the mic, and they need to utilize that at some point in time. But it could be, just him speaking for himself and the type of physical abuse he's willing to take, a la Mankind. I think he can be a modern day Cactus Jack, modern day Mick Foley type of, obviously not that level of star, probably wouldn't put a belt on him, but just that blueprint, I think, is what they could do with Gacy. Piper Niven, 27 of 80. Howdy 6 looks to be Bo, Rowan, Gacy, Loomis, Cross, and eventually Alexa Bliss. I heard that they wanted to keep Bliss away from that, but she was pretty adamant about coming back and performing that role again. Jerry Lawler. The Kane.
Jerry the Kane Lawler.
I don't like how WWE creative writing keeps breaking up factions instead of factions going against each other, like how DX and the Nation Domination locked horns. That was a level of star power, though. That was necessary. That is necessary in order for that to really, really work. And plus, it was a different time. I think NWO was pretty heavy at the time still. DX obviously was pretty heavy at the time. Like, it was about factions. It was about the faction warfare. That's kind of what was going on in both major companies at the time. We don't really have that anymore. When you still have factions, you need, dominant factions, especially when you have the amount of talent in the company that the WWE has. But there's just not a ton of time to develop storylines for faction warfare type things. They can barely get all the talent in now. Elite Deck of Triple H. And it kind of helps to have less talent if you want to do that, because you can hide a lot of people. There's no need to really hide much now. You need to showcase more talent instead of hiding it. Stevie Ray, Turn of the Century. That's fire. That is not only. We'll take that one. 449. Booker T's brother.
Was that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
49/49 on Bob Backlund. Nice little book in there.
That's good.
Stevie Ray. Good in that tag team. Harlem Heat. Booker's obviously the better of the two. But Stevie was the powerhouse. Booker was the athletic high flyer. Because that was that's how you built teams back then. But creative writing keeps having factions turning on members all the time for the past couple of years. Yeah, that's typically that's tradition. That's traditionally how wrestling is going. At some point in time, there's going to be an implosion. I mean, even in the faction you mentioned, even with Nation of Domination, that whole thing fell apart because of The Rock. His star power got too large, and they needed to showcase him more. At some point in time, when you put those factions together, somebody has to stand out. I think that's why they're doing what they're doing with the Judgment Day with that Damian Priest. Somebody has to stand out. Bloodline's a little different because we're looking at like a common goal type faction, but even then, there was internal beef, and Jay had to kind of carve his own niche. Speaking of the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, 99/99 on the Elite Deck Red. Bobby Lashley, red non-numbered. Grayson Waller, 21/24 on the die cut. Trish Stratus, William Regal throwback. Q Elliott. Howdy 6, Bo, Rowan, Gacy, Dexter Lumis makes sense. They need something for him to do. I'm not mad at that. I don't want Gacy over there. Nikki Cross makes sense because they don't have nothing for her to do, and she plays crazy really well. Roman makes sense because they need some actual size on that team. And Alexa Bliss, we shall see. With that, I just don't. The only thing with the Uncle Howdy thing is I don't know if there's enough TV time for me to care. Like, who are they going after? What's the purpose? What's the point? What's the vision for that faction? And do they start it on the main roster? I think what helped the Wyatt family grow to the extent and the level that it did is because it was developed on NXT, and they got over there before you moved them up. By the time you moved them up, everybody was already a part of whatever their movement was. 47/49 on Xavier Woods. What happened in Dexter Lumis in NXT? I don't catch NXT too much. They just don't use him a whole lot. I don't think he's tied to any actual program. They just don't use him. He's just on the roster somewhere. Randy Orton on the Elite deck.
Well,
Road dog. But he would make sense here. I think the last thing I saw Loomis in was wasn't he associated to the Miz or something like that for a while? That might have been the last thing I saw him in. The last time I saw him in the ring was when Indy Hartwell won the NXT belt. He helped her win it in the ladder match. And then that was it. That was a cool little moment. I thought that was a fun moment, but in terms of in-ring stuff, I hadn't seen him.
So this is sad.
Hmm?
Is that her name?
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about that. I was like, what the fuck? Maybe against the Final Testament. Perhaps, but Final Testament is down to NXT at this point. And they've already kind of bundled that push. So I don't know if a win over Final Testament actually means anything unless they make that storyline super compelling. But again, do you have enough TV time to do that? If there's no gold on the line, if there's no embedded storyline, 55 and 149, like there's no reason for us to care enough for that to kind of rule the airwaves. Full Throttle, Matt Riddle. Howdy Faction will be main roster. All the QR codes are on every episode of Raw SmackDown. King of Rings will now appear. Again, based on a QR code similar to what Bray did. I mean, obviously I'll be tuned in, but I don't know. I don't want this to be fumbled. JD McDonald, 37.99. I've never been big on the I had a family member pass, so now I got to get a push type storylines. I know they have plans for Howdy prior to, so maybe they can stick to that and that develops well. But I also feel like it's a different climate and a different roster and just a different era than what it was when Bray was doing this thing. So that's my concern. But if they come up with the right storylines that can make this thing work, then by all means, because I think Bo Dallas is extremely underrated. Very, very talented. One of my favorite NXT champions was Bo Dallas. You gotta believe. Miz. Family lineage of the Rhodeses, followed by the aforementioned Joe Gacy on the red auto.
Joe Wyatt?
22 of 49. I hope not. I certainly hope not.
You good?
I just don't want to see that. Jay Uso, 7 of 24. Very nice die cut hit.
My guy right there.
Main event, Jay.
Yeah.
Looks like a Stara. Full Throttle. Rob Van Dam. Powerhouse of John Cena. Followed by Turn of the Century Auto. Nice little throwback. Greg the Hammer Valentine. The Vince McMahon version of Ric Flair prior to Ric Flair.
A word.
Yeah, he is not on that level though. Really not on that level.
That clip was funny.
Lethal.
Yeah.
Lethal and Flair, yeah. Woo!
That sucks that Lethal didn't get a bigger push.
Yeah.
You seem talented.
Oh, he's extremely talented. Very good in the ring. Very safe in the ring. Scalable moveset. sells well, tells a good story. He was a solid heel. I wouldn't say great, but solid. His Macho Man character is pretty funny too. He did both when he was at TNA. But I think
He's
that
in AEW now, right?
yeah, but I think TNA and his second ROH run. Those are his prime. That's his prime. So I don't think he'll ever get a real push in AEW. His ROH run was pretty solid though. That second run when he became the champ, he was a man. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty quiet case. Pretty quiet case. Jimmy Uso, 3 of 80. Stone Cold on the Spellbound. GLE 54 of 149. Freshly fired GLE.
Damn.
JC Jane on the red.
Well, damn.
Bianca Belair, star status. This one is 32 of 49 on the insert.
Uso.
When do you think they debut Jacob Fatu? And will it be the new Bloodliner against? Nah, I think it'll be with the new one. And I have no idea when. Like, it'll have to be. I don't want them to continue to just have Bloodline members get added because the Bloodline members that exist continue to see adversity. So I don't want that to be the only way.
Umaga's son, right?
Yeah. I don't want that to be the only way that they add them, but maybe one more time and then we close it out there. The Bloodline doesn't need to turn into this doesn't need to turn into an NWO versus NWO Wolfpack. It doesn't need to get that to that level. I wouldn't even be mad at them leaving Jacob down at NXT and just letting them, we know eventually we'll probably see him, but leave him down at NXT. Kind of how they did with Solo before they brought him up. Have him want to carve his own niche, kind of make his own name before making a decision on where he's gonna go. Shawn Michaels on the throwback.
Kiki boy.
Becky Lynch, star status. It's crazy. Beck's got the championship back. Goofy shit.
Oh, she won?
Yeah, she won the Royal Rumble.
Did they find out what happened to Rhea?
She got hurt. She's legitimately hurt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're blaming it on Liv, storyline wise, but she's got a legit injury. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got some bad news. Another bad news. Barrett Otto, 41 of 49.
What kind of injury?
Arm injury.
So she's out?
Yeah, she'll be out for a minute.
Like what's a minute? Like a year?
It's
How long do you have to be out to actually make sense to give up the belt?
Yeah.
So I feel like if you're out for a few months, it doesn't.
It's not gonna be a few months. It'll be longer than that. She's probably got a full recovery coming up. Yeah, I don't think just because we know he's part of that family lineage and that all the rumors know that that he's coming to the WWE means that he automatically has to go Bloodline. I'm definitely not upset with him showing up and just doing his own thing for a while and just keeping him far away from that storyline. Like you can have the little tease run-ins with him and Jay or him and Jimmy or shit. Even if he's the guy Jimmy brings back for like his own little faction, I don't know, but they don't necessarily have to just throw him into the Bloodline right away. Like let that whole thing simmer. 20 of 80 or Andre the Giant, you don't want it to get too out of hand. You don't want to write yourself into a corner and now you're just stuck with a bunch of guys and nothing to really do with them. Slider's on the family lineage. Brock Lesnar on the Spellbound, letter K. This one is 98 of 99. Looking forward to Julia and NXT. Hope they didn't change her style too much. Probably won't. Trips does his homework. He knows what he has. So I'm pretty sure they allow her to be herself. See how the people take to it. Seth Rollins, 20 of 99. Trips does a pretty good job of recognizing why somebody gets over with the talent they have, especially when he's bringing in some international flavor or indie flavor. Like he has a pretty good understanding of what he's dealing with or who he hired. Yeah, they don't. All that's not necessary. They don't have to do that. I wouldn't even be mad. Like if they really wanted to do something Bloodline related with Ava, she could have her own little subsection in NXT. Maybe Jacob could be her muscle. But I don't think they necessarily have to do that. Like we know what the Bloodline is. We see where it's developing. Let this edition of it grow. And see how far that gets before we start just plugging in new members. How do you think they utilize Kiana James? Mike, I've been calling for a Mean Girls faction to kind of flank Tiffany Stratton as the champion for a while. I think Kiana, Chelsea Green, and Maxine Dupree fit that to a T. So that's where I think it's eventually headed. But who the hell knows? Tiffany will get the belt, and she'll have, and this is going to sound weird, but this is what I see. Sheamus, 36 of 53. Tiffany Stratton with the belt, clearly capable, clearly, very, very talented in the ring. Doesn't really need anybody flanking her, but she'll have that, and she'll kind of be, they'll have like a Mean Girls type of faction, but in the same vein as how Gunther doesn't necessarily need Imperium to be dominant. I think it'll be the same thing with Tiffany. 70 at 149. So they're there, to make sure she's good and kind of protect her belt, but it's not necessary. Throw Blair D in there. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with her. I don't know if her look fits though. I don't know if that emo look fits for like because Tiffany, Chelsea Green, Kiana James, all kind of have that look. Maxine Dupree, they all kind of have that look. Blair would be more of an outlier or something like that.
Because she's gothy.
Yeah. Like even somebody like Cora wouldn't fit in there because she's got the skater look. She's got more of the tomboy look. You want girly girl looking girls with Tiffany and her crew. So Chelsea Green, who's clearly that type of performer. Maxine Dupree, who's clearly that type of performer. Kiana James, who has that moniker to her as well. And Tiffany is the damn Barbie doll. So Like, they all fit together. Damian Priest, 15/25 on Elite Sigs. Very nice.
Hopefully Taco Queen had him.
Piper Nevin, 10/24 on a die cut. In an interview long ago, Natalya says she wanted to bring up people from NXT and have her own faction. She would like a faction. That's cool. I don't know. Who would want to... Alright, let me ask before I just start tangenting. Does anybody want to see a Natalya faction? Wesley, welcome back. 43/149. That's like a genuine question. Like, if y'all would, then sell me on it. I'm not super sold on Natty at this point. I understand she's enhancement talent. I understand she's kind of in this gatekeeper role. She's like, to put it in perspective, she's like the Holly Holm of this thing. How do you keep? Why are we still rolling her out here for matches? Holly catching strays, man. It'd be interesting to see what that faction would consist of. Like, up and coming. I think she said Cora Jade, JC Jane. I forgot who else she said. How does that work? How would that work? JC's pretty developed character-wise. Cora's developed character-wise of what we're gonna get from her. I can see now if you bring up I forget her name, the other martial arts girl down there. If you bring her up, if you bring up who's the girl that Kiana just left? That little powerhouse girl they have down there. She's pretty strong.
Ivy now?
No, not Ivy now. But maybe even Ivy in the faction. But not Ivy now. I forget her name. Damn, I forget her name. I'll look it up in a second. But there's a couple girls down there that are in heel roles. And they're both, like, pretty strong athletes. I know one's a former soccer player. I think she's with JC Jane. And then the other one was Kiana's muscle, essentially. I could see Natty bringing up, like, a couple of green wrestlers like that. Yeah, Carmen Petrovich, but it was the other girl I'm thinking about. I forget her name. Carmen's the martial arts girl. She's the one that Lola Vice is gonna beef with. The one I'm thinking about used to just chill with Fallon Henley and Kiana James and all of them. I forget her name though. Izzy Dane. That's it. Thank you, Vic. Man, been silent the whole chat, and then you all right, appreciate you, Vic. JC Jane on the red, but yeah, Izzy Dane, and I believe the other one, I forget her name, but she's a former soccer player, and she's with JC Jane. 65/80. I think they had Thea Hell break her arm or something like that.
Hope Solo?
No. Definitely not Hope Solo. But yeah, if she brings up, like, just girls that are talented but just green, that it looks better for Natty to be their spokesperson, even though I don't think she would thrive in that role either. I'm cool with that. Like, if you have her be the Kurt Angle to that team Angle. Yeah, Jasmine. I forget. Jasmine, it's not, I forget the last name, but you know what I'm talking about. You got the first name right. But if she's like the Kurt Angle and they're the Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas of that team, then cool. I could maybe see that to an extent, but that's about as far as it can go. I wouldn't put her with anybody that's already kind of developed. JC and Cora's developed. That doesn't make any sense to me. No razzle dazzle yet. Like, Cora has a stick already. She's AJ Lee light. We already know that. JC has her own thing already. And Natty, to me, is worse on the mic than both of them. She's worse character-wise than both of them. Like, she'd literally just be the vet. Maybe she could prove me wrong. hope so, I guess. But nah. Maxine Dupree on the red. Kiana James.
What about like a tag team with her sister or something?
Not on the main roster. That's strictly pay-per-view. Wesley, New Breed Auto. Welcome back, Wes. Sherry Martel, nice little throwback here. 45 of 49, Scary Sherry. Nice number, Sherry Martel. No. With life. Roman Reigns on the Elite deck. Carmelo Hayes on the Full Throttle. That's fire. Nice little green there. 11 and 25 on the Mellow.
Is he athletic?
Mellow? Yeah.
Like a high flyer?
That's his selling point. His high flyer and his character work.
Is anybody as high flyer as Ricochet?
Ricochet is the best pound for pound athlete on the roster.
Think so?
Easily.
Damn.
Easily. Yeah, she's more of a trainer now. That's what I'm saying. I can see her in that role if she's bringing up the future talent and that's who's flanking her.
How tall is he?
Carmelo?
Ricochet.
5'8", 5'9", maybe.
How tall is Carmelo?
Around the same. They're both smallish.
They just be backflipping.
Yeah. Now Ricochet's pound for pound best athlete. Now, Logan might give him a run.
Really?
Yeah. Logan might give him a run. But Ricochet, in terms of aerial stuff, is a guy. Only other person I think like vertically challenges him is Montez Ford. I think in terms of just overall, you could argue speed, athleticism, power combination. It's either going to be Logan's in that conversation, Braun Breaker's in that conversation.
Really? Braun's a high flyer?
Not a high flyer, but he's more athletic than you give him credit. He doesn't use it, but he can pull off some stuff if need be. But I'm just talking about just raw speed and power with him. King Shamrock. So Braun's in that combo. Ricochet's in that combo because Ricochet is way stronger than people give him credit for. He's got some goofy strength. Tyler Bate might be pound for pound the strongest.
It's the Irish strength.
Sure. Nikita Lyons on the Pen Pals. Definitely not Irish, but that's fine. Nikita Lyons.
Ricochet?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tyler Bate. Yeah, Rick O'Shea is Irish as hell. Bruno Sammartino. Gold Gang. 6 of 10 on the Bruno. Wesley. I don't know if he's vertically. Oh, you know what? Look at me lying. The kid from the kid that just faced Dragunov a couple weeks ago before he dropped the belt to Trick Williams. That kid is ridiculous. Scripps is actually pretty crazy too, in terms of like flippy shit. Damn, I always forget that kid's name, but he's nasty. He's nasty.
Otis?
No. Otis is nasty another way. They need to bring back a lightweight belt or the cruiserweight belt. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. I think what they're going to end up doing is just the NXT, not the NXT, but the WWE speed thing. That'll be like an extension of that, with a lot of high flyers and stuff. I think they won't bring the cruiserweight belt back because they fused it. They merged the belt, so that's probably why you won't see that.
Rick O'Shea.
A hardcore belt wouldn't be terrible. They just have to develop a reason for it. 117 and 149 on the Shotzi, because they have wrestlers that fit the description. They have wrestlers that will like play in and out perfectly.
Whoa, what description is that?
Hardcore wrestler. Throw caution to the wind.
Like Kali?
Ruin your body. His body was already ruined. $39.99 on 123 Kid, like Joe Gacy. That type of guy. Your Cactus Jack, Mick Foley type wrestlers. Dijak could probably fit in that mold too. He don't really care too much about what happens to his body. Dragunov too, if he wasn't so ingrained into just wrestling, you could argue that. Shit, if they wanted to, and I've always thought this would be cool too, they can bring back the hardcore belt, but rebrand what hardcore means. So instead of it being about the violence and the chair shots and all that stuff, hardcore could be more like the Gunther or the Dragunovs, where you're doing strong style wrestling, where it's like more about what you can physically do with your hands and your body, as opposed to the type of chair shots you can throw and things of that nature. Just rebranded as like,
is Mark Henry still
hardcore
wrestling?
meaning something completely different. No, he's in AEW. He's a backstage guy in AEW.
Is he good into WWE?
Yeah. He's got one of my favorite title runs. The Hall of Pain. The Hall of Pain run is classic. That was one of the best on-air moments that they've had in a long time. Bronson Reed and Ivar. In a traditional hardcore, yeah. We got The Miz. Hulk Hogan on the elite deck. Wendy Richard. Didn't think we'd see this card.
Nice color match.
11/25. That's fire though. Nice little throwback. That's a spot that doesn't hit often, so I'm glad that we're able to pull it out for you. Roxanne P. 7/80. Waiting for her main call, her main roster call.
She's good.
She's very good. She's one of the more talented ladies they have down now. I think she's the champ still.
When's Tiffany gonna get called up?
Who?
Tiffany.
Tiffany what?
Is she to WWE?
What are you talking about?
Oh, she's in the WWE?
Tiffany Stratton? Yes, she's like one of the top women on the main roster. She just
got
had a
called
title shot. She got called up months ago.
Oh.
When you saw her in Elimination Chamber, she was called up.
Oh.
59 and 149 on a Ricochet. Yeah, she been main roster. Yeah, Tiffany's probably, in my opinion, top. I give her 3 to 5 on the main roster right now.
Yeah.
Well, with Rhea out, Charlotte out. I personally think she's better than Becky in the ring, but I understand Becky star power. Tiffany's got to be top 3 right now. She's probably the best non-belt holder. Put it that way. You can give Bianca a bit of an edge over, so I'd say objectively 4th. She's better than Jade by like a lot. She's better than Naomi. I don't outright say she. I think Io might be slightly better. I think she might have Asuka beat at this point, but that could just be due to booking. But everybody else is a pretty wide gap.
She's better than Shotzi.
Yeah, by a lot. Paul Heyman. Honky Talk Man. 14 of 24. Die cut. Like even when this roster's full, I think she has an argument for at least top 5 to 7. So that's what Rhea, Charlotte, Bayley, Becky, all of them. I think she's in those combos. She's that good already. And getting better.
She like doesn't care. She'll do like, so much.
And that's the other part.
Shit.
That's the other part.
Like, she's
like
reckless.
The stuff that she does in ring, due to her athleticism, due to her willingness.
No fear.
I think that's what's going to allow character development. So while she's this Barbie doll, you know, prior to shopping sprees, the mic work and all that stuff, you know, coming in talking herself up. Her style doesn't fit her character at all, but she plays her character really well, and that's the selling point for her right now, is the look and her character. But if she were to ever switch it up a little bit, if they want her to go babyface, or maybe add a little edge to her heel, she can do that because her in-ring stuff mirrors that. Like, it shows that she's willing to go there. Elite deck of John Cena. Juan Cena. 86 and 99.
Juan Cena.
So I think if they decide to go that route with her, they can. Her in-ring stuff allows a little more leverage in terms of developing her. 35 or 49. Or taking her out of that Barbie role and into something else. I think it just works right now. The Barbie image that she has, because she looks the part. I don't think they change it up even if they made her a face right now, because she does it. She does the Barbie thing too well. Shotzi's injured with a torn ACL like Charlotte Flair, Sonya Deville. Yeah, Shotzi's out, but I mean, even when she's healthy, she don't hold a candle to Tiffany Stratton. Take her on her star status. JC Jane. Charlotte on star status. Turn of the century, Johnny Rodz on an auto. William Regal, 35 of 53. Very nice hit there for the Regal fan. Brock Lesnar on the elite deck. Raquel Rodriguez, but she isn't high flying to Stratton. I think Tiffany has Rocky beat. I think she has her beat. I think there's more versatility in Tiffany than there is in Rocky. Rocky does a good job with the powerhouse thing. I think I'd probably have her maybe third in terms of the powerhouses.
Who's the first thing?
Nia and probably like Rhea. Jade needs time to really fully flesh that out. Bianca has powerhouse elements in her, but I think Rocky plays the powerhouse better. Bianca just does it like athletic feats. So Bianca, the Regal fan, yeah. So Bianca's stuff is kind of like Ricochet stuff, to where it's sneaky strong. We know she can do it because if you follow her long enough and you know what she's capable of, it doesn't like shock you. But that's not her. That's not what she relies on. well, Raquel relies on that. Nia Jax relies on that. Rhea Ripley relies on that. Jade Cargill is going to rely on that. Bianca can kind of do whatever. Tiffany versus Soul for the belt at WrestleMania in the future. Probably. If Soul Wilson can stay healthy, yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. And that'll be a ridiculous match. That'll be a ridiculous match in terms of like athleticism. I need to see Soul develop her other in-ring stuff. But athletically, that's going to be crazy. Kofi Kingston, 45 and 149. Huh?
She a high flyer?
Soul?
Yeah.
She's just a freak athlete in general. I wouldn't necessarily say high flyer because I think the only real women's high flyer they have right now is maybe like Kehlani Jordan. So
Tiffany?
she does a couple. She does top rope moves. I wouldn't really call her like when I think high flyer. I'm thinking the Ricochets, the AJ Styles, you might even like Montez Ford. Like this is their only means of offense. Tiffany uses a finisher off the top ropes, but I don't know if I pencil her in and just being a high flyer. Like she can beat you in other ways. Like Wesley's a high flyer because he has to be. Carmelo is going to eventually have to be a high flyer on the main roster because this is the only way I'm going to be able to beat anybody. Tiffany doesn't have that issue. So I wouldn't say Soul's necessarily a high flyer, but she's a. I'll show you a match and you'll see what I'm talking about, or just like a highlight reel, and you see what I mean about some of the stuff she can do athletically, which could potentially be utilized, if utilized correctly, could be pretty crazy to witness in a match. Like for instance, Charlotte Flair does a pretty moonsault as well. But she's not a high flyer, you know what I mean? Yeah, she has a gymnast style. AJ Styles 11 of 53. Yeah, like how Lita would. Like Lita would be more of a high flyer because that's all she really had. You know, when you have more versatility to your game, then I can't really pencil you in as just one way. Speaking of Lita, there she is on the throwback.
Still looking for that other 2 101s.
Matt Riddle on a red. Like as much as EO does a lot of high fly stuff, I don't even know if I pencil her as one because of her versatility. Kairi Sane, I think would probably be closer to a high flyer than EO is. Kari's got a crazy top rope elbow. That thing is beautiful. I'd argue the best in the company.
Word?
Yeah. Her top rope elbow is crazy. Yeah. I'd argue the best in the company. It's pretty crazy.
What if she misses and hits her fucking bone?
Then her shoulder will probably be in her neck. She's a tiny one, but she still has a great top rope elbow though. Carmella on the red. Spellbound of Lita. Yeah, I got it over Bailey's. Even there, I was wondering how I joined your group for breaks. Quincy Elliott on the Pen Pals.
You can join our Facebook group and then follow us on eBay. Breaks and Takes. It's the same as the eBay channel.
Grayson Waller,
YouTube
69
channel.
of 99. Yeah, I got Kari over Bailey for elbows. Cause That was my argument. Bailey has a solid one. Star status, Cody Rhodes, followed by Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart auto. 16 of 49. Alright, last stack of cards before we get into our Impeccable.
The main event.
The main event of the evening. You got me some hundreds, right?
Hundreds? Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you, sir. I knew I had to set them somewhere. I just don't remember where.
What is it?
40. 140. What'd you guys think about Dragunov and Ricochet? Is the Breaks and Takes Paradise private group?
Yes, that is correct. I'm gonna follow our eBay store. All
EO
of our
Sky,
breaks on YouTube are on there.
47 of 49.
We're on multiple platforms.
We everywhere, baby. We everywhere. Braun Breaker on the Elite deck. That 1-1 got pulled. Kane. 72 of 149. No, Ty pulled it. It was pulled by the BNT family. There's Sheamus.
Oh, you pulled one for once?
That was a while back. Full Throttle, Shawn Michaels. This one's a red.
You don't be pulling one of ones.
92 of 99. Hoping I pull a Dragunov. Yeah, Ilya is one of my faves. The rumor is they're going to give him a push similar to what they gave to Gunther.
Ilya Topuria?
Which I'm not mad at. I think Dragunov can put on some classic matches. That dude is so very, very compelling in the ring. Tells a great story. Very believable, even though he's a bit on a smaller side. Tough for no damn reason. Willing to take a ton of punishment. Great facials in the ring. Great emotion that he shows. Sells really well. Can play babyface or heel. Dragunov's good. Very, very good. Undersized, but good as hell. So we'll see. Very weak case for big names. Yeah, Mike. Not the greatest. But we move on to the main event. Y'all don't come here for the hits anyway. Y'all come here for the convo. So we can talk some wrestling. Hits is secondary. We here to chop it up. Cars just be here. That's background noise. Really, a Gunther push? That'd be awesome. Yeah, I think so. Obviously, it'll be a slow build. They're not just going to throw a belt on him right away.
That'd be bad.
Yeah. But if we get a redo of Gunther and Ilya in the finals of the King of the Ring, which I'm hoping for. If we get a redo of that, Ilya as a rookie, Gunther as a seasoned vet, they can tell that storyline all over again and give us that match on the main roster. Because that'll be, their third or fourth match that they've had. They can give us that on the main roster. Even if Dragunov doesn't win, that solidifies him as a real major, major threat going forward. Because he just took, what are cards, exactly. He just took the guy, the longest reigning IC champ, to the limit in a great King of the Ring match. He can be a good IC, he can. He can definitely be a good IC or US champ. So I think I'm hoping that's the goal. That's what I would do personally. If that's what I plan on doing with his push, I'm gonna have him and Gunther recreate those classics, those NXT European classics, those UK belt classics. Have them recreate that for a King of the Ring final. After that, you can do whatever you want to do with Dragunov. anything's believable at that point. If we fully bought into Gunther the way we have for those type of matches, there's no way you wouldn't be able to sell Dragunov going forward. So that's what I'm hoping happens. Obviously, you know, they ain't cut the check yet, so I just can't keep writing these fantastic ideas and giving them away for free. But that's what I want to see happen. All right. First on the Impeccable. Shoosh. Chad Gable, 18/49. So glad that they finally gone serious with Gable, especially since they fired Gable Steveson. So that kind of kills my Gable v. Gable storyline. So they found another way to make Chad serious, and I'm happy about that. I like this heel run. He is the modern day Kurt Angle. I don't care what anybody says. And he should be pushed as such. 30's too much. 30's might be too much. I think 30's are too much. No, 30's are fine. Okay. Next up, Butch, 13/99. Where's the suggestion by? We actually had our moderator who needs to be fired again. We gave this man a spreadsheet so he can take down all the storylines we came up with. We came up with some great storylines before they started firing people. I had a storyline for Matt Riddle to go heel, and then they fired him, so it didn't matter. 8/35, Kofi Kingston. I had my Gable versus Gable storyline. I still want to go with once Chad gets rid of the dead weight unit that he has, I'd like for him to go and grab the Creeds, and they just have a real amateur wrestling faction for a little bit. Because if you've been here with me before, you know how I feel about Julius Creed. I think he could be a star, and eventually I want to see him as Randy Orton's understudy. So Julius can chill with Chad for a little bit, but eventually you got to get away from that so he can turn into a new Randy. Alexa Bliss, 38/75 on a scratch and sniff auto. Illustrious Inc. Brutus Beefcake, 41/75 on Hogan's Bestie. Alba Fire, 43/75 scratch and sniff with an auto. Yeah, I don't. I think I felt like it was more mutual. I know Gable said he wanted to go back to the amateurs for one more chance at a gold medal and one more run at a gold medal. There was some talk of him launching himself into MMA maybe. 12/49 Mako Satomura, scratch and sniff with the auto. I still thought there was potential there. I've always been anti babyface for somebody with that level of hype. They gave him a ton of hype coming in because of the Olympics, because of all that. I don't think you can start a wrestler like that off as a babyface because the people just aren't gonna accept it. I think you got to start him off as heels and have the people get invested that way. They're gonna boo anyway. Give them a reason to and sell it that way, and then you could eventually turn them face if we care enough. Elegance Jumbo Mem Auto Gold. It's gold. There's the okay. There we go. Now you guys can see it. Card number 5. Braun Strowman. Gold gang. Nice Mem Auto. Braun. Fire. We'll take that. Gold at redemption. All right. First plate of the evening. I think the only match they gave him to Baron Corbin rivalry for a little bit. He had a couple NXT Underground appearances, but yeah, they never really gave Gable anything serious. The Baron Corbin match was flawed in a lot of ways. I mean, you know, you just green. Needed time. Bianca Belair, the BBL herself, 41-75. That's fire. Bianca Belair. Now, who should be the one that turns? Does Bianca turn heel for Jade, or does Jade turn heel on Bianca? When it's time. Obviously no time soon, but when it's time, who do we think plays heel? Who do we think plays face? Glad he came back. Was always mad they never had Braun Strowman go after Roman Reigns belts. I thought they had a match. Am I tripping? I thought they had a match. You want Bianca turning heel? You want Bianca turning heel, or do you think that's the direction they're going to go? Okay. There's a reason. I think that's the direction. Bianca's been flashing the heel turn, and she's been face for so long. So it makes sense she turns heel. I agree with that a lot. I also, looking at the two, I think Jade's a more natural heel than Bianca for one. And then two, I think her story-wise makes more sense as a heel. 45 or 49. I agree that it's probably going to have to be Bianca. Just because they want to keep the Jade push. But I think naturally it makes more sense for it to be Jade. I think she performs better in that space. I think with Bianca, I think Jade's storyline makes more sense because she can always follow up with the, I never came here to take part. I came here to take over type thing. The plan was always for me to be the top woman here. You were just a means to the end type of thing. I think that probably works. But obviously you still have to develop quite a bit to be able to pull it off effectively. 58-99. And then there's also the fact that she'll probably have to be the one that kind of lose that feud. I mean, she doesn't have to, obviously. They could just keep her as a dominant heel. But Juan Cena, 13-25. They've been kind of kicking Bianca in the back for a while. So I wouldn't be surprised if they give her a little something outside of just this tag run to put her back in the winning graces. Kane, 72-98. Nice little auto there. It's a fire auto. Kane has some pretty nice looking cards in Impeccable. This one, they have the mask close up. That's pretty fire as well. Nice auto here though. Drew McIntyre, 41-49, scratch and sniff with the scribble. Having a really, really good storyline with CM Punk right now. They're doing an excellent job of selling that fight without either one of them having to touch the other. So that's just damn good storytelling. Not a big Punk fan, but gotta recognize how talented he is. Holla, player. Teddy Long, 20-25 on the auto on the Immortal Ink. Don't see this a lot, but we'll take this. Yeah, I thought they had at least one match. I could be wrong. Cam Grimes, freshly fired. 32 of 75 on the watercolors. Hopefully Cam pops up in Impact Wrestling and gets a chance to show his ability there. Cam is talented. Very, very talented. I think didn't get the proper push, but also probably isn't the wrestler that fits that roster. We got 2 redemptions back to back here. So we'll show the first one. John Denver, like John Denver. Illustrious Inc. Card 11. Scott Steiner. It's not a bad hit. Big Papa Pump. Big Bad Booty Daddy. Alright, next on the redemption. Mortal Inc. Card 29. Marlena. I think it's back-to-back breaks. I've pulled a Marlena Impeccable redemption on your Mortal Inc. there. Alright. Let's go to our plate here. And we will do a recap as well upon the conclusion of the break so you guys can see all of the mid hits that we got tonight. But again, you're here for the wrestling combo. We appreciate you as always. Alright, let's see what we got. Well, that's not too bad. Stone Cold Steve Austin. 62 of 75. Hell yeah! It's not terrible. It's not too shabby. We're okay with this, right? We're okay with Steve Austin on the plate. We'll take that one. Alright, last box, which means we got our bar in here. Maybe this will be the saving grace of the break. Maybe we'll get our uno de uno gold bar. Let's see. Let's see. There it is. There it is. That's our bar. LA Knights and Stone Cold Steve Austin closures. It seems like a mix of a bunch of people. I'm still waiting on the yeah off at Mania at some point in time. I think it's necessary. But I think it's something that the people need. They need a yeah off. Hell yeah. And yeah. Probably a lot of what. And yeah. I want to see it. Luke Gallows. 64 of 99. On the Luke Gallows. What do you guys think? His best run as a member of AJ's faction or as a member of CM Punk's faction? Austin Theory. 13 of 99. A-Town. I still am holding out hope that he gets a real legit main event push, because I think he's the future of that company, or could be one of the future of that company. I still want a modern day DX with him and MJF when MJF makes the move over to WWE, which will eventually happen. Liv Morgan, 22 of 35. Got redemption, and we have a plate auto. So that's fire. Nice little back-to-backness. Elegance Mem auto. 17. Roman Reigns. That's fire. Not mad at that. Roman Reigns on the redemption. It's a very nice hit to get. Let me see. Oh, here he is. Don't see it anytime soon. They turned Theory into a clown with Waller. Reminds me of court jesters. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon either. I don't like the direction they have him in, but like I said, I'm holding out hope. Maybe after MJF comes over. Alright, here's a plate auto. Let's see what it is. EO Sky. Very nice on the stainless steel auto. 79 of 99 on the EO Sky. That's fire. We like that one. Former champ. One of the better performers for the ladies side. That was a great match, by the way. Her and Bailey. Fantastic match for the belt. Very, very entertaining. Both ladies performed excellently. Tony Atlas. 19 of 75. Indelible ink. Auto. We pull an Atlas every break, it seems like. Hopefully Roman Reigns signs autographs more than he wrestled. That's hilarious. Is this one backwards too? It is. Let's see what we got. Jerry Sags, 28 of 75, one half of the Nasty Boys on the Immortal Ink. Yo, this bar better be fire. Some of this stuff is yuck. Alright, next. This is the last card before we get to the bar. Joe Gacy, 21 of 25. Scratch and sniff with the scribble. Gacy I like. Gacy's actually a really talented, really talented wrestler. I like Joe Gacy. He's him and his skill set has grown on me over time. His in-ring work is better than I remember it being, and I already know Mike skills and character work is pretty good as well. I really do see modern day Mick Foley. Obviously, like I said, won't be a star at that level, but I see parallels in the style and how the push could go. All right, let's find out who our bar is. We got a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver. Hoping for the gold. China. 28 of 35. China on the silver bar. Nice little Jody Laurie. Take that. All right. That is our break, folks. Let's see. We have a couple randoms. Like 3 randoms. We have to do our left-right family lineage randoms. And then we also have to randomize for a couple family lineage numbered cards. So we'll do that real quick. Then we'll run this recap and then we'll send you fine folks on your way. Appreciate you joining us. Run him real quick. Alright, so for the Rikishi and Jimmy Orange, we're going to roll our dice. There you go, 9 times. So it'll be 9 times for each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good luck. 9. So Rikishi will get that spot for our Bob Orton and Randy Orton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That will go to Bob Orton. So congrats to the Bob Orton spot. And finally, for our left-right family lineage cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excuse me. And 9 left. So the wrestlers on the left side of the card will receive those cards unless they're dupes. And then everybody gets a card. Alright, let's run our recap real quick before we send you guys on your way. We'll start with our Elite, number to 149. Got Kane, Kofi Kingston, Ricochet, Shotzi, Wesley, Rikishi, Gia Lee, Andre Chase, Riddick Moss, Bailey, Gia Lee, Mankind, Kiana James, Edge, Roman Reigns, B-Fab, JC Jane, Red Rooster, and Braun Strowman. Our number to 99 in our purples, Grayson Waller, 123 Kid, Seth Rollins, JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Bruno Sammartino, Jey Uso, Sheamus, Braun Breaker, Shotzi, Alexa Bliss, and Andre the Giant in his IG pose. To 99, red inserts, Bob Orton and Randy Orton on the family lineage. That'll go to Bob Orton, Trish Stratus, Star Status, Full Throttle of X-Pac, Full Throttle of Shawn Michaels, Elite Deck, John Cena, Spellbound of Brock Lesnar, Elite Deck of Roman Reigns, and another Full Throttle of Sean Waltman, a.k.a. X-Pac. Number to 80, on the Blues, Roxanne P., Damian Priest, Andre the Giant, Jimmy Uso, Piper Niven, Elias, Rhea Ripley, Ariana Grace, Rikishi, Damian Priest, and Elektra Lopez. Number 253, Alan Jones, William Regal, Sheamus, Stacy Keibler, Butch, Nikita Lyons, and Quincy Elliott. Number 249, Io Sky, Xavier Woods, Sherry Martel, Bianca Belair on the Star Status, Xavier Woods again, Bob Backlund, Hank Walker, the family lineage of Jimmy Uso and Rikishi. That will go to the Rikishi spot. And Riddick Moss. Our die cuts. Actually, we'll do our teals. To 25, Full Throttle of Carmelo Hayes, Raquel Rodriguez, and a Full Throttle of Shawn Michaels. The man, they say Melo replicates. Die cuts to 24, Honky Tonk Man, Piper Niven, Jey Uso, Grayson Waller, Kofi Kingston, and Dirty Dom Mysterio. Our autos are as follows. Jimmy Hart on a red, Quincy Elliott, Johnny Rodz, Wendy Richard on a blue, Nikita Lyons, Wesley, a blue, Damian Priest, Wade Barrett or Bad News Barrett on the red, Joe Gacy on the red, Greg Valentine, Stevie Ray on the red color match, Rikishi, Carmelo Hayes on the red, Bad News Barrett on the blue, JC Jane, we have a blue Big E, Tyler Bate, a red Gunther, Katana Chase, Raquel Rodriguez, Bob Orton on the red, Solo Sikoa, a redemption, red of Braun Strowman, and a base Ted DiBiase Turn of the Century auto. Gold Gang, Bruno Sammartino, Rick Boogs, and Jerry Lawler. Those are 210. And that's our elite hits. Impeccable base. We start off with Liv Morgan to 35, Austin Theory, Luke Gallows, John Cena to 25, Dom Mysterio, Natalya, Kofi Kingston to 35, Butch, and Chad Gable. Our plates, Steve Austin and Bianca Belair. Our plate auto, Io Sky. Base autos of Jerry Saggs, Tony Atlas, Marlena on a redemption, Scott Steiner on a redemption, Mortal Inc. and Illustrious Inc. for those two. Cam Grimes, Teddy Long to 25 on the auto. Kane and Brutus the Barber Beefcake on the Illustrious Ink to 75. Our patch autos, Joe Gacy to 25. Roman Reigns on the Elite Mem Auto Redemption. Drew McIntyre, Elite, Jumbo Mem Auto Gold of Braun Strowman on Redemption. Michael Satomura, Alba Fire, and Alexa Bliss. Our silver bar, Miss Joni Laurie, aka China, RIP, 28/35. That is our break. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.